So we got the fellows from the record label that Dillinger had, Daffodil Records, come down and see us at practice, and we signed a contract right there for a 3-album deal.
Gee.
And we had never played live as the Hunt, and as a matter of fact, we didn't have a name. So he said, "What's the name of the band?" And I looked out the window and it said the Hunt Club. So I said, "Oh, the Hunt." So that's how the name.
What year was that?
Came. I think it was 78, 77 or 78, something like that. And so we signed a record deal, and we were rehearsing in one of the motel rooms at the Hunt Club. So we played in the club that weekend to pay the guy back for the rehearsal space. And 2 weeks later, we were in the studio doing our first album. So we played live once as the Hunt. Started our first album.
That's great.
Yeah, it was. Those were the days when you know, record companies were looking for a certain thing, and if you had it, they'd sign you on the spot. So it worked out really good.
You consider yourself pretty lucky.
Yeah,
compared to what?
If it was nowadays, we'd just be one of many bands struggling to find a place to play, let alone a record deal.
And the odds would be against you, like getting signed because you haven't played live.
Exactly.
They wait for the buzz to happen,
Yeah.
kind of, nowadays.
But we were lucky. We knew some people too. We had, you know, Dillinger had Frank Davies was executive producer for Dillinger, and so he got to like us a lot. In the Hunt, he knew all the members of the Hunt. So.
But plus, like, the music was pretty good, like the musicianship.
Yeah,
we
weren't amateurs, or we hadn't just started playing. We'd all been in bands with and done recording before and played a lot live, so they knew that they were getting a band that had experience
and quality.
Yeah, and the drummer we'd gotten for the Hunt was with Max Webster on Max Webster's first album, Paul Kersey. So, you know, again, there was lots of experience as well. So it wasn't like they were signing a band that might not be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
You know.
Whereabouts did you tour? Like, did you tour Canada, North America?
Well,
anywhere?
In those days, there was probably just 2 or 3 managers in the country that could actually do anything for a band, get you on the big tours and so on. And at that point, we didn't have one. So our management company was good, but it was a smaller one. So most of the touring we did was in Quebec, and you know, just a little bit of Manitoba. We didn't really go much further than that for the first year. That's really all we needed to do, because it was more or less a regional band with a regional contract, and that's really all we were. And that lasted for that went on like that for about. And then we heard that our album was released in the States as well, which was, you know.
Yeah.
And it did well in the Rochester area, but it did extremely well in Texas. And Texas at the time was into bands like Triumph and Moxie and some of the Toronto bands.
Yeah.
So it was really, the Hunt became one of those bands. So we did a few dates in Texas with Sammy Hagar and people like that. And that went really well. We sold, most of the albums we sold were in Texas. There's bands in Texas that we'll never hear of up here that are selling hundreds of thousands of albums, because down there it's their own industry. Up here it's a chart thing up here.